The state has a role in taking off. After that, the state needs to back out. And there is a time from, free markets. There's a process. Free markets not properly regulated, not properly institutionalized with all the, free markets, it's based on assumptions that certain things are in place. Information is available and, factor resources can move, blah, blah, blah. Okay, under those conditions, there is no debate about that policy. It's science. But there is no country in the world, even today, that has a perfect free market economy because we're human and we have human economies, and there's cheating here, even on Wall Street. There's inefficiencies, blah, blah, blah. The fact that 5,000 people a day die from car crashes or something doesn't stop us from driving or flying planes. We will never have a perfect free market. Economics is always moving to equilibrium. There's so many variables moving all the time, you never have a steady state. And you adjust as you go along. That's why you need a good driver. But there is no way anybody can question that at the right time of growth, when an economy reaches a certain scale and complexity, there is no alternative to free markets. And the collapse of the socialist and communist era just proves it, period. There's one or two lingering at great price. So the fundamental economic policies we have are wrong and proven wrong by history and economic science, period. Okay? So for me, there is no counter-like argument unless it's misinformed. And there might be particular contexts where we have to watch out for this or that. If there was a strong, coherent argument for not opening up, we would have heard it. I would be speaking it. I don't have, it's not my religion. It's not my religion. As soon as I get a better idea, I'll shift. But this is what I know has worked. And, I keep coming back to, please, just look at we're like 2 countries in Africa who want to pursue this path, and we have the 2 worst economies in Africa. I mean, what more do you need? Why do I even have to defend this? It's that simple. It dies right there. We fear the unknown. And part of that is, even our minds have been closed for the last 20 years. There is no intellectual conversation. There is no debate. There are no answers. I mean, there's nobody speaking out. So, we operate with what we know. And the world has changed in 20 years. That's why all the examples of, I read these research reports that are desk reports citing experiences from 20 years ago. Give me a current experience. It's a different world. In many ways, the global economy now is integrated and integrating. The African Free Trade Agreement is here. How can we even be talking about staying closed? We've signed to open up everything. It's not even a point of debate. I mean, that just shows how really far behind we are. We're coming out of the Stone Age, I'm sorry to say. These topics aren't even open to debate elsewhere. They're just fact. Okay? Is the implementation perfect? No. Can you have this go wrong? Yes. Can you have a car crash? Yes, because you have a bad driver or a malfunctioning car or whatever. But is the policy decision correct? Unambiguous, yes. At any time, it's never wrong. Once our economy has reached where it is now, we are choking because we've locked it. This foreign exchange liberalization, like I said, that's the magic bullet. Without that, nothing happens. Why are these beer factories closing and going? No foreign exchange. All our problems come down to this, in a large extent. So, that's liberalization. Above and beyond banking sector liberalization. So, I mean, we're so far past this, we need to liberalize the foreign exchange. That's a big policy decision. That has more risks, macro risks, if not done right. I mean, that's where I would be very careful about how it's done. This is a no-brainer. I get loud without knowing it, sorry. I'm not angry. Sylvester, wait. Oh. I just want to make sure before I repeat. Anybody? Okay, one new person here, Sylvester, and then Hikmat.
I'm just trying to ask whether we have some empirical studies regarding these experiences which the Latin America and Asian countries had gone through while liberalizing their financial sector. Whether which modality works best for our context, and what controlling framework we need to have in the central bank and other regulatory organs.
You know, yes, okay, you raise a good point. So, you know, we all have this nightmare experience of what happened with the Asian financial crisis when, you know, Wall Street went bust and all of this hot money, short-term money started running out of these East Asian economies, collapsing their currencies, blah, blah, blah. That was bad policy. Okay? When you're opening up the capital account, it's all money flows. Okay, they have what they call, you know, these short-term debt instruments that come in and out globally, managed by hedge funds and all kinds of people who are looking for the smallest margin. As long as the currencies convert, it's a huge industry on Wall Street. And that's what makes markets work. You have all of these people looking for imperfections in the market to make money, and that's what fixes the imperfections. So when a government has a bad policy of letting in too much of this hot money because it wants to finance something short term and this and that, you know, it's like they have to know what kind of risk that's bringing. You know, you can never predict an economy, you can never predict, even Wall Street, it crashes. Nobody predicts a crash. The economy is too many things going on and subject to shocks. So, yes, it's not about whether you open up or not. Then you have to take measures to make sure that you're not introducing, you know, too much risk of the kind of money you actually don't want. That's speculative money. And there's ways to, you know, without blocking it, making it financially unattractive. So, you know, I know what you're referring to. Like I said, you know, like anything, you know, I don't like to use simple examples. A guy who drives, you know, good driver, can he be expected to, you know, leave home in the morning and come back? A bad driver, you know, he'll crash the nicest car. Economic policy is like that. We know you have to start the engine, and you know we have to shift gears, and you know the fuel and the brake. That's how this thing works. If you put the gas when you're supposed to put the brake, you're going to crash. That's how you drive an economy. Okay? It gives you the tools and the vehicle, but it changes day to day, week to week, month to month. And you have to be able to, A, know those. Part of a financial infrastructure is having knowledge for decision making. We make decisions without any information. It's like driving a car without a dashboard and maybe with a blacked out windscreen. So yes, these things have to be done right, but the path is, I think, beyond question. I think, just my opinion.